In this lecture, we are going to learn how to modify the value of a property.
This video is brought to you by Appy Pie Academy.
So, and we will be revising a lot of things also, so that the concepts of creating the classes and associated objects that can be more clear to you. Press the right mouse button on the project name, go to new, then go to Python file, give any name. Suppose I am going to give modifying the properties something. Okay, here I am going to create the class. So suppose I give the name to the class values. Because Python is a case sensitive language, I have taken the name values with B capital. So whenever I will mention the class name, B should be capital. Okay, now let me take the constructor. I would be writing underscore init, and before that, because constructor is also a method function, def, then again init, and I should write num1 num2. We have already studied about self, which is called, it is a reference to the class itself. So as you know, we are revising some things also, some particular things that we have done in the previous lectures. So two instance variables with the name num1 and num2 would be automatically created. And how we will be passing the values, I would write self dot num1 is equal to num1. Similarly, self dot num2 is equal to num2. Okay, so far so good. Now we will remove the indentation and go at the beginning of the line, so that whatever I am going to write now is outside the class. The first thing I will do is I will create an object of this class. So as usual, I would write any name of the object VOBJ is equal to then name of the class, but I would be passing the values for num1 and num2, right? So what will happen is an object with the name VOBJ will be created and constructor would be invoked. This is our constructor. The value two instance variables, two properties rather, I should say. Instance variables and properties, they are the same thing, they are synonymous. Two instance variables, one with the name num1 and another with the num2 would be automatically created. 100 value will go into num1 and 200 will go into num2. Now these are formal parameters. Now I will assign the values to the variables, that is properties, which are being referred through the keyword self. So I'm sorry, self is not a keyword. Through the term self, this name could be anything, it's not necessary it should be self only. So num1 value is of formal parameter is 100, that will be assigned to the property num1 because it is being referred with self. Similarly, self dot num2 is equal to num2. What it will do is the value of the formal parameter num2, which is 200, would be assigned to the property num2 because it is being referred through self word. Okay, so VOBJ is equal to values 100 200 has created the object. So far so good. Let me again go to the class, make the indentation with the tab key. Okay, now I'm going to write a very simple function show, and here I would be interested in printing the values of num1 and num2. Num1 is equal to plus num1 str num1 str num1 plus slash t is for tab space, this is an escape sequence, str2 num2. Okay, so that's it as far as the class is concerned. Now we are outside the class, we have already created an object. Now I will call VOBJ dot, I will call the show method, show function, by using this syntax VOBJ.show. So far so good. Now see, I could have printed the values of num1, num2 here also. Always remember this place which is outside the class is called the driver. So I could have printed the values using the print method here in the driver itself also. But it's always a good it's a good practice to display the values of the properties by calling the method of the class itself. Okay, now I would write VOBJ dot num1 plus is equal to 1000. So what I am doing is I am incrementing the value of num1 property instance variable with 1000. So if its value is 100, that will become 1100. Similarly, VOBJ dot num2 plus is equal to, I would write suppose 2000. So if its value is 200, it will become 2200. Again I will call VOBJ dot, I will call the method show. Okay, so this is how we can modify the values. We have incremented the value. We can increment, decrement or whatever. We have incremented the value of num1 with 1000 and that of num2 property with 2000, and again we will be calling the show method so that we can see that the values have been changed. Let us run the program by pressing Ctrl Shift F10. Okay. There seems to be some minor problem. It's num1, num2 and self dot num1 is equal to num2, and the error says it is always good to have errors, so you get to learn a lot. Okay, name error, name num1 is not defined. Okay, so num1 is there 100, 200 values, and VOBJ dot num1, okay, values plus is equal to 1000. Okay, I'm sorry. We should have written self dot num1 and dot num2. These are the minor mistakes. These are the minor issues that we face at the time of writing the program, because we often forget to refer to this self. Let's execute the program. Ctrl Shift F10. Okay, as you can see, first time the value of num1 was 100 and that of num2 was 200. Next time the value was changed, that of num1 was 1100 and that of num2 was 2200. So it's better to write num2 is equal to here Control Shift so that the values can be displayed separately. Num1 is equal to 100, num2 is equal to 200. This was the output of the first call. The initial values are getting printed. Next time when we change the values of the property and we call VOBJ.show, we call the show method again, the values are being shown as changed 1100 and 2200. So this is how we can modify the values of our properties.